Hey guys, so today I'm doing a quick introduction lesson to how to build speed as a beginner. Now, speed can seem like magic when you start out on the drums, because you try and play something and it seems so slow, and then you see someone who's playing drums a few years and they just seem so fast that it's not even possible for someone to move that quickly. And you start to doubt yourself and you start to wonder, how am I ever going to get that fast? Well, sometimes you never really figure it out, and as a result you end up maybe giving up, which is a pity because there is a way around it. So the piece I'm using as an example piece is from the Trinity Rock and Pop Grade 1 syllabus. It's Billie Jean, and the bar that we're going to look at, that I'm putting on screen now, is bar 27. It's the outro of the piece. So the reason I'm picking this one is it's not exactly a straightforward bar. There's two things that kind of are a little bit standout. The first thing is that we're not playing the hi-hats. You'll notice that those X's at the top, which are usually a little higher up, sitting on top of the top line, those ones are now sitting with the line going through them, and that means it's a cymbal, but it's down lower than the hi-hats, and the only cymbal on these kits that are down lower than the hi-hats is the right. So that indicates that we're not playing a right hand on the hi-hats like we usually do. We've switched over to the right cymbal. Also, we have our bass drum down there underneath 1. We have just the right on and. We have a snare drum on 2, just the right on and. Then we have a bass drum on 3 like we always do, and we have another bass drum on the and of 3. So it's a double bass drum, 3 and then a snare on 4 and the right on its own on and. Okay, so the goal tempo on this is 108 beats per minute. The vast majority of people that start out playing this, as soon as they start getting any kind of shape on it at all, they're going to be in and around 30 beats per minute. 30 beats per minute is a long way away from 108. .30 is way down at this. Now I'm going to put on a subdivision on this as well, so you can hear the ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So I'm going to play that bar for you. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. When you hear someone practicing like that, now if they practice like that, they're doing very well because everything's in time. More often than not, you're going to get this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So they're not trying to keep their strokes, their quavers on the right cymbal even. So the first step is to try and get everything nice and even. Don't force yourself to go faster than you're able to. You should always go as fast as you can correctly, however. And the last word on that sentence is the most important one, because as fast as you can is always going to have mistakes in it. As fast as you can correctly is what I refer to as the edge of your ability. I can do it just about. If I go any faster, I'm definitely going to make a mistake. So as fast as you can correctly might be 30 BPM. That's where you should be practicing. If you can go at 40 without making a mistake and you're still practicing back at 30, you're not actually growing the way you could be. You're not developing your sound. So you want to try and give yourself the opportunity to push, be at the edge of your ability as fast as you can correctly. So if 30 is not a challenge for you, you find out what your speed is by playing without a metronome for a second and just going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and at that speed do a tap test. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's after reading out at 43, 44 almost. So we're going to set it to 44 and we're going to see if we're able to play it with the click at 44. 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then give yourself a bar of a break in case there was mistakes. You want to reset. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now I'm going to simulate a mistake on this. I want to show you what I want you to keep doing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Made a mistake on the snare. I didn't really let it affect the rest of my bar and I kept going. I didn't fall out of the piece. Now, why that's important. The natural thing to do when you make a mistake is to react to it. So we make a mistake, we go, I made a mistake. You throw your hands up in the air, you stop playing the drums, you stop reading the music, you stop being in the piece. Well, you gotta train yourself out of that natural reaction and not react to the mistake. Notice it, definitely. Plan to get rid of it, absolutely. But don't let it stop you. If you think of a mistake, like the best analogy I've heard of, I had a student who was really big into soccer. So much so that he'd come to practices and come to lessons in his soccer gear. And he was reacting to his mistakes. He was stopping and getting upset almost. So I said to him, when you're playing soccer, has anyone ever tackled you? He said, yeah, of course. I was like, well, what do you do when you get tackled? I'm like, well, someone tackles me and they're trying to take the ball off me and I try and stop them from taking the ball off me. And I was like, okay, that's excellent. If someone tackled you and you just stopped moving and you let them take the ball and they ran away with it and you just said, hey everybody, I just got tackled and that guy took the ball off me, would that be a good thing to do? And he said, no, that's terrible. That's the last thing you should do. And I said, that's kind of what happens when we're playing a piece here and you make a mistake, because you stop playing the drums and you just react to the mistake. Think of your mistake as a tackle. If the mistake comes along and hits you, it's trying to stop you from playing the piece. So if you're affected by the mistake, that's fine. If it stops you from playing the piece, the mistake wins. It's like the tackle has been successful for your opponent, they took the ball. If the mistake hits you and you can keep playing and you don't get knocked out of the piece, it's like getting tackled on the pitch, but instead of the person tackling you taking the ball, you manage to stop them from taking the ball, you step to the side and you keep going. The tackle was ineffective. So the mistake is ineffective if you can keep going. I've got to stop kicking that floor top. So, make a mistake, it's going to happen, especially when you're forcing yourself to be at the edge of your ability as fast as you can do it correctly. But don't let the mistake stop you. So let's just say 44 is the absolute maximum you're able to play it at. Push yourself 5 BPM more, or 6 in this situation, to 50 and see what happens. One and two. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so what you saw happen there was I really struggled at the start to up my tempo to 50. 45 was what I was able to play before. I played it, I got comfortable with it, and then 50 was now within my reach. It's kind of like climbing a stairs or climbing a ladder. You can't reach for the 5th step unless you've stepped on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th yet. You can't go upstairs without using any of the steps, but you can if you take each step one at a time. So if you get good at playing at 45, that brings 50 within your reach. If you get good at 50, then 55 comes within your reach. It's just like progress in anything. Progress in a walk, progress in climbing a mountain, progress in anything. It comes by little baby steps. My first couple of plays at 50 were really challenging. I wasn't able to finish the bar. But I stayed calm and I came back in on the next bar. did you notice when I came back in? I didn't try and come back in on the 2, on the 3, or on the 4. I always came back in on the 1. That's because we are most confident starting on the 1. It's where we always start. So if you come in on the 1, you've got the best chance of getting it right. I got it wrong a bunch of times before I started getting it right, and even when I did get it right, I wasn't confident. Play something 30 times. Get it right 30 times, and then move on to 5 BPM faster. Our goal tempo is 108 on this. I'm about halfway there. I'm on 50. So if I can increase it every day by 10 BPM, that's two speed ups per practice. That means in the space of a week, I will have absolutely annihilated that 50 BPM increase, and I'll have 2 days of practicing it at the 108. So that's the goal. You want to get your challenging bars at whatever speed you're able to play them at. Find out what that speed is and practice them at that speed until you get comfortable, and then tiny baby steps forward. I know it seems pretty obvious to say it, but those baby steps is what's going to take you from I can't play fast to playing fast is just a matter of practice. Everything improves with practice. If you understand how to do it and you practice it, you can't help but get better. I hope that this was really clear for you guys. I hope it makes sense. If it doesn't, do let me know, because I'd like to improve my explanation if it's not making sense for someone. And you know, if it helps, if there's benefit to this, let me know that as well. If there's something else you'd like me to cover and I will, just let me know. Thanks for watching. Like always, I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.